I'll make sure I turn my microphone on this time. Hopefully you can hear me again. Just move the chat box out of the way. Just to pick up on Belinda's question, which is a great question. It really just highlights the whole business of risk and reward, what we're looking at using the chart. This is the 15-minute. This is going back nearly an hour now. We saw the weakness come in here, initially here. Then we had a very strong signal that this weakness was going to develop, which it duly has. We've come down from, we're about 90 odd. We're now trading down at 59. So there's already a decent amount of profit potential in there if you were trading this off the reversal. Further weakness here, as I mentioned at the time, we've got another effort to rally. Lots of volume driving in. Next candle confirms, nice widespread candle. Volume's good on that one. No wicks to the upper or lower body. Got a little bit of buying coming in now. In terms of if you were holding this position, if you were getting in this reversal position, where would you be looking to? Well, you've got very little in the terms of price-based support to act as a buffer or act as a support platform to this move. These are pretty lightweight, these two lines here, very thin, you can see, so not terribly strong. What we are doing is we're battling through this big wedge of volume here. So it needs volume on the price action to drive it through there. And from a target perspective, where would you be looking this to go to if it travels full term? Then you'd certainly be looking to down to this sort of level here, which is down at 35, 40 odd. Once it gets down to this region, you are 99.9% guaranteed that the market will congest at that region. You've got the volume point of control. You've got a couple of support levels underneath it as well. You've got the highest volume on the volume histogram. So there is no way that that market will drive through that with momentum. It's going to pause there. So in terms of your opportunity, what you're looking at in terms of, well, if I get in at the top here as a reversal opportunity, what's my potential? Your potential on this one would be roughly, I don't know, 40 pips or so. And if you're going to put on a stop loss, as I said, you've got to set it a lot wider. You'd see this one coming in, then this one develops. You know there's weakness coming because you've got this absolute ton of volume delivering here. Where would you put your stops? Got to be above these two, so it's up here somewhere. So you're looking at least a 20 pip stop loss, maybe 25. If you've got 25 on the table, is this enough? From 80 down to 40, is 40 enough for you? And that's the equation. It's as simple as that. You know, am I comfortable with that? Am I not comfortable with it? Am I comfortable with going 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2? But that's done from a chart perspective. It's not some theoretical number that you've dreamt up because you have to have it. It's delivered to you from the chart. And if you're comfortable with that, you take it. And if you're not comfortable, you don't. It's as simple as that. And looking at the time frames, how's this all panned out? The 15-second, as you would expect, chops around a lot. That's what you expect. Trend monitor reflects that. But over on the 3-minute, the trend monitor, you know, it's helping to keep you in. We had the transitional, we had the bearish engulfing candle. We're breaking away from the volume point of control. We've got some minor levels here. You can see these were tested. That was tested twice. We're now breaking lower. The trend monitor is keeping you in. Looking at this particular time frame, you've got, so the volume is falling away, so that's nice. You've got a nice low volume area here, so that should slice through that pretty rapidly. And on down, we've got some volume building here. So down at the 30-odd region, you know, we've got volume building here. We've also got a pretty strong level here, which also may come into play. And up onto the 10-minute, pretty much the same as for the 15 minutes, slightly different, of course, as you would expect. But again, the weakness comes in here, a little bit of a hanging man there. Then we start the downwards trend. In terms of where we're traveling to, pretty much the same. We've got the volume point of control down here. We've got a very strong platform here, which is like to come into play, and then volume is building. So you put all that together and you make your decision. You've got to decide on, you know, how much, what is the risk and what is the return. If I'm comfortable with the risk, then, you know, and I look at the return, I'm happy with it, then I'll take it. This was just a classic example of volume price analysis in action, giving you the straight heads up of what is going to happen next. And that's the power of VPA. You know, this is a nice straightforward trade. It's on a 15-minute time frame. So as Anna said, you know, it's much more relaxed. You're not hopping around on 15-second or 30-second. You know, you're holding this. Everything's working for you. Trend monitor hasn't transitioned there, so maybe there's more to come. Head on over to the CSIs. Let's just see what's going on there in multiple time frames. Oh, sorry, wrong one. There we go. That's what we're looking at. And as I said, when I mentioned this opportunity, I said, look, you know, the New Zealand is down here. It's down here. I think this one was here, and this one hadn't even started. That's what you're looking for, and what you're seeing right now is a classic example of the trend developing across the time horizons into a nice solid result. So we have the New Zealand down here. This is rising very strongly. This was oversold. This is now rising strongly too. As I say, this was down here somewhere. Is now rising strongly, and this one I think hadn't even got there. It's now kicking up very strongly on 15. The pound you're looking at, it's reversed, it's reversed, it's reversed over here. So you've got a really, really strong trend there. I mean, you've got so many other opportunities here anyway, but that's just the one. You've got the Aussie rising strongly, you've got the Euro selling strongly off, you've got the dollar and the yen here falling sharply. I mean, you're spoiled for choice, and that's part of the problem. If you're an indiscriminate trader like I am, you know, I'm all over the place. I'm looking at all these opportunities, and then you've got to, and you know, it's when you start, it's better to be like Anna. She is much more focused in the sense of teasing out which particular opportunities. I'm all over the shop, quite happy doing that. I'm hopping about from here, there, and everywhere. And it comes back to what Anna said about the psychology. If you go through the psychology module, understand your temperament, and understand what suits you as a trader. We get so many emails from people who say, well, what would you do here? Well, it's irrelevant what I would do or what Anna would do. It's what you would do, because I'm not you and you're not me. It's as simple as that. So, you know, asking me what I would do, it doesn't matter. I'm not a pilot. I'm not a Formula One racing driver. I do what I do. They do what they do. They've got skills and I've got skills. Maybe they can't trade, but they can drive a Formula One racing car. I couldn't do it, but they can. And it's all about that. So you go through the psychology module, find out what works for you, because if you find that, if you match that to your personality and your strengths and understand your weaknesses, you will have a much, much better chance of succeeding in this business. Because if you're trying to do something that you're uncomfortable with, you will struggle, I can assure you. Right, we have run miles over time. Apologies for that. Just to point you in the direction of where you can find the indicators, you'll find them all here at quantumtrading.com. For MT45, NinjaTrader 7.8 and TradingView. The license for MT45 and NinjaTrader 7.8 covers both platforms, so it's just the same license, so it's not two licenses, it's one. TradeStation we're working on, we've got two versions. We've got TradeStation 9.5, which is TradeStation Global, which is it's immensely powerful because the data feed for that particular variant is driven by interactive brokers. So if you have an interactive broker's account, you will be able to drive TradeStation using your IB account. You link the two together, it works brilliantly. You get the power of TradeStation combined with the awesome market opportunities that you get with interactive brokers. You can trade so many instruments and markets, it's untrue. And of course, at massively competitive prices as well. So it's very exciting, and we're developing the indicators for that one. Then we've also got TradeStation Securities, which is running on version 10. So it's a slightly different coding for that particular platform. So we've got two platforms in one here. So we've got TradeStation Global and TradeStation Securities. We hope to have them in the next 2 or 3 months. That's the reason it's taken a lot longer than we anticipated, because it's been a little bit complex interfacing to the Interactive Brokers API, but we are getting there. So that's where you'll find all the indicators. And thereafter, once we've done TradeStation, we will probably move on to multi-charts. We've got 1 or 2 others in the pipeline as well. In terms of the books and everything else, you'll find them over on Anna's site. They're all there. They're all up on Amazon. Thank you for those of you who've purchased them and left lovely comments for us, which we do appreciate. But they're all there on Amazon. And finally, in terms of the education program, you'll find it at quantumtradingeducation.com. This is us in one of our trading environments. This is the psychology module I mentioned. We always urge new students to start with that, because that is the starting point. It's about understanding who you are. You've got the 5 core modules here: psychology, fundamental, relational, technical, and mechanics of trading module. Then you've got a vast array of VPA examples, how to use the indicators, pulling it all together. Topic webinars, covers everything. As you can see there, reversal trading, trend trading, breakout trading. It's all about lot sizes. You've got trading using a basket approach, all sorts of things in there. We've covered everything, scaling and scaling out the whole lot. You've got a webinar library as well, and you've got a resources section too. And of course, as part of the education program, you'll also be invited to the VPA Traders, which is a private chat room, which I've actually got up here. I won't pull it up, but it's there. And that's our private chat room where you will join other students. It's a very friendly environment. I have to say, we have some wonderful traders there who give very freely of their time, more experienced, helping others to learn. And it's just a very friendly environment. Anna and I are there pretty much every day. So we're happy to answer questions, post things for you, and interact with the group as a whole. So it's a very friendly place to be, and a place you will learn and be learning with other people who are also learning with you. That's it. Thank you so much for coming along today. I'm sorry we've overrun. I'll just make sure we haven't got any more questions. Thank you all. Yep, we're fine. Good. Okay, lovely. We will be back on Thursday evening, I think, with the US Futures Room. So enjoy the rest of the trading session. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for coming along, and we will see you again soon.